Good morning, watch lovers! Buongiorno, buenos dias, bonjour, guten morgen! Welcome to another episode of What's on My Wrist Today. And I'm happy to show you one of the watches that I like to wear most every day. And not only one of my favorite, but also one of the most sought after wristwatches on today's market. The Rolex GMT-Master reference number 126710 blro, nicknamed Pepsi. I think this watch is one of the most popular wristwatches in the market today all over the world. But this is not the reason why I like it, obviously. I really like how it fits on my wrist. It is very comfortable and it is good looking. I mean, the red and blue bezel, which is the signature element of the GMT Master, is amazing. I like to wear it with every outfit, and the Jubilee bracelet is simply perfect for this watch. But anyway, before talking about this watch, let's go back and let's go through a little bit of history of the GMT Master. In 1954, the Boeing 707 was successfully completed, and the American company Pan Am Airways needed a technical wristwatch for its pilots. So that's why the GMT Master was produced. And in 1954, Rolex presented the GMT Master that they define as a watch which tells the time in two different time zones simultaneously. That's how the GMT Master was born. The first reference that was produced was the number 6542 that came out in two versions, the 18 karat yellow gold and the stainless steel. The stainless steel model already presented the bezel in red and blue colors, but at the time the bezel was in bakelite, and then it was changed into aluminium and then into cerachrom. So that was a little bit of step back into Rolex GMT Master history, which is obviously full of great episodes and full of great innovations that we will certainly talk about in another episodes. But today I want to go back to the Rolex Pepsi. The Rolex GMT Master II reference number 126710 blro was presented at Baselworld 2019. I was there and I have to say that it was a great success, but the curious fact is that the success immediately started. So they came out with this model, they showed it in the showcases at Baselworld, and the following day this watch was already in the main online platforms at a very high price. So this is totally unreasonable. Anyway, the price at the time was 8,600 euros. Obviously the retail price, because the market value was already very high. Among the technical innovations that Rolex presented that year, we can certainly start with the caliber 3285, which was totally produced and manufactured by Rolex. Thanks a new barrel architecture and the chronology escapement, this caliber 3285 boasts a power reserve of 70 hours. In 2018, one of the factors that people loved most about the GMT Master was certainly the combination of the blue and red bezel and the Jubilee bracelet, a combination that for me is really winning. The bezel is bidirectional, as you can see, and we can certainly say a difference in the color of the first bezels and the last bezels. In fact, the first series of bezels was a little bit lighter. Now the blue color tends to be a little bit darker. In fact, in the various forums they already talk about Mark 1 and Mark 2. Anyway, back to the Rolex GMT Master Pepsi. The new Jubilee bracelet looks amazing on this watch, and the reference number of this bracelet is 69200. The lugs were redesigned as well, and this helped the harmony and balance of the watch, which from my point of view is really perfect. For the first time, Rolex presents in the dial the little coronet between the words Swiss made. And this is the symbol of the new caliber. This was the first time that we saw that in 2018. Then Rolex kept doing it in the following years for the other watches that featured the new caliber. And at 6 o'clock, close to the outer edge, the sapphire crystal is engraved with the little Rolex coronet, which is almost invisible at naked eye. As I said at the beginning of the video, this watch was immediately a big success. And I think there are several reasons of this huge international success. First reason was certainly the recall of the past, because they used this Pepsi bezel, which was the symbol, the historical symbol of the GMT Master during the past years. In fact, as I said, since the very first reference, the GMT Master featured a Pepsi bezel. The second reason of the success was the Jubilee bracelet, which was introduced for the first time in a stainless steel sport watch, and the combination was really a great success. Third reason is certainly the fact that as the watch came out, the price increased. And as we all know, this calls a lot collectors' attention. And in fact, those who bought at the beginning, at the end, they did an investment. Maybe they looked like crazy at the beginning because they paid an overprice, but now it's much more expensive than before. So we can see the raise of the value during the years of this iconic watch. Now for a new Pepsi, the price is around 19,000 euros, which is crazy because it's more than double at the retail price. Totally crazy. But hey, this is the watch market today. Everybody wants it, and if you want to buy it in an official Rolex retailer, you won't find it. You will be lucky if the person in front of you won't laugh in your face. Because unfortunately, something that happens very often is that the person comes into a Rolex store and asks, hey, I would like to buy the Rolex GMT-Master Pepsi. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, many times, hundreds, thousands of times. And that's impossible. I mean, there is a huge waiting list for that. This is something very, unfortunately, that happens many times today with many models. So the GMT-Master Pepsi is not the only model that you won't find immediately in the Rolex store. In fact, the same happens with the Batgirl, or with the Daytona Serachrome, or with the Submariner date and no date, and even with the date just 41 and the Oyster Perpetual. So today's market is like that. Unfortunately and luckily, I mean, it depends on the point of view. There is a huge demand and a small offer. So that's another reason why people die for this watch. As you know, I always prefer to talk about the collector's point of view and my opinion about watches than the small technical details. And I want to tell you about some questions that I always receive on Instagram. What's going to happen with the value of this watch? Do you think it's worth it to buy today at 19,000 euros? Will it grow in the future? So let me tell you my point of view. I think that generally speaking, the value of the stainless steel sport Rolex watches will continue to grow, in particular for this watch. This watch is every day more desirable. Everybody wants it and everybody talks about it, and social media are helping this process. Instagram in particular counts with thousands and thousands of pictures of the Pepsi. So this is a dream for many collectors. This is a dream for many watch lovers. So from my point of view, the value of the GMT Pepsi will continue growing. Would I buy it at 19,000 euros? Yes, I would. But I have to say that obviously buying at this price is quite risky, because obviously from my point of view it will continue taking value, but it's not certain because we are living such a particular historical time, so anything can happen. But I still think the watch, and the watch like that in particular, is still a very safe good. So is it an investment? Yes, it is. Should I lock it in the safe? It depends on you. Honestly, I prefer to wear my watches every day, in particular this watch. I mean, it is extremely comfortable, extremely beautiful. It is amazing. Why should I lock in the safe? No, wear it. If you guys enjoyed this video about the GMT Pepsi, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, Giorgia Mondani. Many more videos will come and a lot of content about Rolex will be posted soon. So follow me, and for anything you need, don't hesitate to have a look at mondanibooks.com, because you will find technical guides about your favorite wristwatches. In this case, I'm gonna show you the GMT Master book. You can see the Pepsi in the cover of the book. This book has a price of 420 euros, but it's now on sale, so go to mondanibooks.com and get it now. The Rolex GMT Master book is the best friend for your GMT Master watches. mondanibooks.com, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Giorgia Mondani.